Hi guys, I totally forgot that I had a YouTube live here. I went live on TikTok this morning for about an hour and a half, so I totally forgot about the YouTube part. But everything that I put on there was accurate. Yes, Russia and NATO should be at war within weeks. I'm about to put this stuff up here. I was pretty unprepared for this, so I just looked up and I kept seeing people in my Discord saying, "Hey, where's Javante? He's supposed to be live." And I'm like, "I just got off a TikTok live." And I realized I set up a YouTube live too. I was like, "Dang it," because I originally wanted to go live on YouTube. So yeah, it looked like this is definitely about to escalate. Let me see if I could find the first part for you guys on here because I want to be able to show my sources on YouTube as well as I do on TikTok. They need to put a green screen on YouTube. That should be their next move for an update. Okay, let's do DuckDuckGo. We're gonna do it off DuckDuckGo, and we're going to put it right here. NATO, Russia, war within weeks. All right, that should be the first one. All right, turn this around real quick. Sorry, I'm late, everybody. Let's do the past day. It should be on here. Yep, here it is. Putin prepares for the next stage of Ukraine war, nuclear combat readiness raised too. Yes, there was a lot of announcements from Putin. I guess I could put them all out there right now. This was the big one that's coming out. I think off grid and other people may talk about this if he hasn't already. Right here, sorry, is saying that NATO and Russia will be at war within in a matter of weeks. So a direct confrontation between Russia and NATO is a matter of weeks. Several insiders reported that NATO had allegedly decided to officially enter the conflict with Russia on the side of Ukraine in a matter of the coming weeks or even days. Going down, a documentary filmmaker and the author of the Chronicles of Russia Telegram channel expressed his view on the subject. According to him, NATO fears that Russia will launch a general offensive and that would destroy the Ukrainian army not only in Donbass but in the territories that remain under Kyiv's control. The NATO leadership does not even doubt that Russian units are located near the Belarusian Ukrainian border will strike those territories in the first place. NATO has always been very clear Ukraine shall not lose. Thus, the only solution for Washington is to deploy the alliance troops in Ukraine, and they hope that this will stop the Russian offensive. They hope that Vladimir Putin will not want to confront NATO directly given the possible nuclear consequences, and that he will therefore retreat. So, the plan is to send in troops. So think about this. What is the announcement today? Zelenskyy is here in the United States, going to be meeting with Joe Biden for a package, 1.7 or 1.5 billion, but altogether it's supposed to get up to 47 billion dollars in military aid for Ukraine and humanitarian support and emergency purposes as well. So anyways, the announcement today, though, is going to be the $1.7 billion for Ukraine for the Patriot air defense systems. Russia already said this will be a declaration of war on their country because these could detect their Su-35s and all their advanced aircraft and pretty much make it even more complicated for Russia in the war. They're also going to be providing Ukraine with precision missiles, guided missiles. So it looks like NATO is full on with going to war with Russia. They're definitely here. We're definitely here, guys. And I'm about to show this on here. All I gotta probably do is put in Patriot air defense, and it would probably pop up on here. To be honest, defense system. Let's do that. Yeah, right here. United States to send Ukraine Patriot missile systems and precision guided bomb technology. So go right through this, and this is on your local news. As you can see, it's all over the news today. 11 hours ago, an hour ago, another hour. The United States will send Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine. How will it help? They're going to announce this today. Zelensky's here for this very reason, because the United States is stepping up their involvement in the war, meaning that this war is about to escalate very freaking soon. I don't know what to tell people. It's about to get bad. It's about to get really bad. Yep, it's here. U.S. to send Patriot missile defense systems and precision guided bomb technology. Going down, the United States is expected to announce on Wednesday, which is today, that it will provide Ukraine with Patriot missile defense systems and precision bomb kits that will turn dumb bombs into smart bombs guided by GPS coordinates towards their targets, according to the United States officials. The inclusion of both weapon systems in the United States military aid package is significant because it will give Ukraine an advanced system to protect its cities from Russian airstrikes and will give its air force a new offensive capability. Oh yeah, Putin's going to love that so much. He loved it so much that he put his nuclear weapons on combat readiness, saying he's about to deploy the Satan II in the coming days or in the near future, and that he's going to be upgrading the Russian army from upgrading the Russian army from 1 million personnel to 1.5 million personnel. But U.S. officials have not opened to that possibility recently out of concern over how Russia might react to their presence in Ukraine. Oh, their presence in Ukraine? Damn, that's on our news now that our presence is there? Okay. That can't be too well. Oh yeah, let me show y'all that too. Let me put that on here because everybody should know the full danger of what the Americans are about to get themselves into, which isn't our fault. It's our government that's pushing this right now that want this. So it's not our fault, but we're about to definitely suffer the consequences for their actions. So look, U.S. troops. Oh, I'm just gonna say small U.S. troops because that's how the media want to put it. U.S. troops in Ukraine. Watch this. Okay, let's see if it pops up first. U.S. to include a. Oh wait, this is past day. We need past week. We need past week for this one. The United States was debating on sending a small batch of U.S. troops into Ukraine. It might have been longer than a week now. Hold on. Let me try a month. U.S. considering sending troops to Ukraine. Let me see. Put that. Sending troops to Ukraine. That should do it. I'm gonna show y'all little different ways that I looked this up. U.S. has said U.S. considers the expanding of Ukrainian forces. It's gonna pop up. U.S. finalizing plans for the Patriot defense systems, and which was supposed to get them to send their troops in. That was the matchup. The Patriot air defense systems is what's going to get the United States to send their troops into Ukraine. Looks like they won't promote it on there now. I actually have that on here too. If I have to post a video on it, I will. Let me put anytime. U.S. sending a small amount of troops. Actually, it's on my freaking TikTok. Oh yeah, duh. I'm not on TikTok. I'm on YouTube right now. I was gonna say it's on my TikTok, but I know not everybody has my TikTok. All right. But anyways, it said that the United States was considering to sending I think 20 to 50 troops inside of Ukraine to watch this equipment, or maybe even more, to watch the equipment that we're going to be sending to Ukraine. And that's how I knew that we were going to send the Patriot air defense systems. They probably done moved it all the way to the bottom now, so to make sure that nobody could find us. But yeah, they're going to be sending troops with these Patriot air defense systems, and even NATO, the NATO chief admitted that himself, they would have to send in troops to watch these because they're so expensive and they wouldn't want them to go into the wrong hands. So I'm gonna try one more time to put this on here, and then I'm gonna just put Patriot air defense next to it. Maybe that will help. Finalizing to send. Let me put U.S. personnel. Maybe it's because I'm putting troops. Let me try personnel. That definitely didn't work out. Ignore this. All right, let's try this one more time. Personnel. U.S. sending Patriot air defense. Warns of U.S. sending air defense. Reveals plans of Patriot handover to Ukraine. Also revealed that Ukrainian troops will be trained to use them. Which is another confusing thing. Why would they train Ukrainian troops? They say they got to train Ukrainian troops up to 6 months. So why are you rushing these into their country then? If you got to train them to use them. All right. Good morning, off grid. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for making it to the program. I don't know if you heard the crazy news today that we're days away days to weeks away from a conflict with Russia. That's been all over the news yesterday. And Putin has said some interesting things today, too. Actually, let me just type in Putin so I can show some of the announcements. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show on here is that he announced unlimited funds for war. So we already know that they're in a wartime economy. So one third of the Russian economy is focused on, or their funding is focused on the war right now. And now he's saying that whatever the Russian army wants, they will get. He's even putting their nuclear weapons on combat readiness and getting ready to deliver the Satan II to them, as he said today. Let me just go back and put Putin Satan II, and y'all will see that too. Satan II. And go for right here. Putin vows to deploy the Satan II nuke in weeks and obliterates hopes of peace. Was the Satan II? Right here, Putin announces plans to boost Russian army and unleash the Satan II hypersonic missile. So, letting everybody here know, Putin announces plans to boost the Russian army, unleash the Satan II. Go down and read. Vladimir Putin struck a defiant note as he vowed that Russia's armed forces would receive the unlimited support, that nuclear weapons were in a state of combat readiness, and a new hypersonic would soon enter service. We have no funding restrictions. The country and the government are providing everything that the army asks for. He said in an address to the Ministry of Defense of the staff in Moscow on Wednesday. The president added that Russia's nuclear arsenal would be maintained and ready for action. We will continue to maintain combat readiness and improve the combat readiness of our nuclear triad, he said. This is the main guarantor of preserving our sovereignty and territorial integrity and strategic parity, and overall the balance of power in the world. He further claimed that the RS-28 Sermon intercontinental ballistic missile, dubbed the Satan II, would be available in the near future. The missile is said to have the capability of carrying multiple nuclear warheads over the range of more than 10,000 kilometers faster than the speed of sound. So they're about to be deploying this. This is not good, guys. This means Russia's definitely getting ready for a big move. They must know that NATO's about to step into this war. On top of now, I just got to put in 1.5 million because he said that he wants the Russian army to go from 1 million to 1.5 million personnel. So this is another. Yep. Putin vows to win in Ukraine as the Russian military to reach 1.5 million. So yeah, they're definitely getting ready, guys. So if they're getting ready, you should be getting ready out there, my friends. All of you guys should be getting ready and getting prepared because this is about to hit the fan really soon. Putin vows to win in Ukraine as Russian military to reach 1.5 million. What is going on is certainly a tragedy, but is not the result of our policy, Putin told the top military brass. Wow. The military should include 695,000 volunteer contract soldiers. He didn't say when the increased strength would be achieved. Yeah, and he told them he's going to be checking in each month to see how many more is coming into the army as well. Shoigu has also declared plans to form a new military units in Western Russia to counterbalance plans of Finland and Sweden to join NATO. So yes, they're going to be putting soldiers on the border with, well, new military units, bases, soldiers, equipment on the border with Finland and Russia, and of course Sweden and Norway. So this it's about to get ugly, guys. We can definitely see that they're preparing. They're definitely preparing. Then I gotta show y'all this. I'm gonna put U.S. Israel war with Iran, and this should tell it all. Hopefully they show it on here. The article that I want to show you guys, because they're pretty much announcing it at this point. Yep, here we go. Found it. I'm able to put it on my YouTube live. Thank God. So Joe Biden inches towards a war with Iran, makes Israel full military partner. All right, now we're going to read through this, and I'm about to warn you guys. This is pretty much an announcement. Preparing for any potential war against Iran, the Biden administration has firmly elevated Israel and military planning. Israel's changed status comes as the United States military refocuses from wars on terror to potential combat with the Big Four: China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. So they're saying that the United States have now shifted their policies to fighting terror to their policies of fighting these four countries: China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. That is insane. And they're putting it out there. They're just putting it out there now. They don't even care. They just know the world don't care right now. Even though people are protesting in Europe on it, nobody's protesting in the United States about it. So in that language right now, the United States' full focus is on these four countries and how to win a war with them. As Israel becomes a full-fledged military partner, the U.S. intelligence community is also putting more emphasis on its Hebrew language program to spy on its number one Mideast ally. Oh, man. Oh, man. Some winter camping gear used in your vehicle could be a lifesaver. Yes. It's prep time, my friends. It's definitely prep time. You guys are gonna need some of this too. Oh, sorry, let me turn it around. Gonna need some of this too. If we're talking about nuclear war, we're definitely gonna need a higher dosage than this, which I'm about to work on getting myself a higher dosage than this because this is more for the younger side. But you're definitely going to need some potassium iodide. That's supposed to help from the radiation hitting your thyroid, and definitely some good stuff to have if they're talking about a nuclear conflict or nuclear war. So keep this in mind for sure. Definitely going to need yourself a filter as well. Batteries. Definitely going to need a generator as they're talking about this winter front that's coming. Could take out the power for millions. And a lot of people could be, injured. This could be another time for Russia and China to move too. I think of all scenarios. I think of all scenarios, but this can definitely be a time for Russia and China to move too. But yeah, they're saying this storm, this little winter storm that's supposed to pass, can affect 55 million people with freezing Christmas conditions. 55 million people in America. Probably more than that. That's just a low ball. They always, all their estimates is usually a low ball. They don't want to say, oh, 100 million people could be affected or 200 million people. No, that would be fear mongering and propaganda. People probably would freak the hell out, in other people's eyes. Some would say it's fear mongering and propaganda, and some would just freak the heck out. Okay. The United States locates additional 1.85 billion in weapons for Ukraine, including the first. Oh boy! So Blinken just announced it too. Oh man, this is not good. Russia's deploying military. I follow this one because I can always follow their sources on the breaking 24 war news. I have always looked up their sources and they have been really accurate on here. This is another good one. All right, I want to see these weapons that's getting sent. That we're gonna look. Sounds like there's no sound on this one. So this is Belarus. Blinken announced that we are sending the Patriots to Ukraine. They're gonna locate the Patriots to Ukraine. This is Russia deploying in Belarus. So yeah, they're definitely gonna be doing that offensive in Belarus for sure. All right. What was I looking for? We're about to look for the Blinken statement. So this is what he tweeted. Breaking: the United States locates additional 1.85 billion in weapons for Ukraine, including the first Patriot missile defense system. 17 minutes ago from Anthony Blinken. So do we know when they will arrive? They won't announce that. Sadly, they would just try to send them into Ukraine. This is why all the secretism is going around right now. Let's see, Blinken. I'm about to look up Blinken and put in the last hour and see if there was an announcement going around, on here. So let's see. I'm gonna go for the last hour. Go to tools. Best way to look stuff up on Google is to filter it. All right. Anthony Blinken participates in the United States in the new era. Anthony Blinken announces 1.85 billion aid to Ukraine. Here it is. Yep, here it is. War in Ukraine as Zelenskyy visits the United States. But I want to see this. I want to see this. Okay, United States delivery of Patriot systems to Ukraine. All right, first one to get it out. Here we go, J Team. United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said on Wednesday that Washington authorized a new package of military assistance to Ukraine worth 1.85 billion, noting that the aid would include the first deliveries of the Patriot air defense systems. This 1 billion drawdown of U.S. arms and equipment will provide Ukraine with the expanded air defense and precision strike capabilities, as well as additional munitions and critical equipment of the Ukraine is using so effectively to defend itself on the battlefield. The Department of Defense is also announcing an additional $850 million of security assistance for Ukraine today under its Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. The decision will be firmly announced by President Joe Biden later in the day when he meets with the Ukrainian counterpart Zelenskyy, who landed in the United States for his first trip abroad since Russia attacked his country. Oh, man. Oh, no. This is not good. Well, there's that announcement that everybody's been waiting for. The White House been tiptoeing around, and now Russia knows this is very serious, and they're most likely about to get ready. Oh, but that's not all. I just posted a video on my TikTok about China, the United States about to strengthen up the Indo-Pacific to counter China. They said they're going to put so much military gear there, they're going to want China to think that, yeah, today will be a bad day for an invasion. You know what that sounds like? China's not going to sit back and let that happen, man. Why would you sit there and let your own enemy that's announcing they're going to build up around you just build up around you? No, China's going to defend themselves. Just like Russia. Russia is definitely going to make a hostile move. They said this war in Ukraine is about to escalate if we send these, and now they announced it anyway. So, yeah, we're done. We're done. This war is definitely about to escalate. Russia and China is also doing drills in the Pacific today. As announced, they're doing naval drills really close to Taiwan and by Japan. Actually, I just put Taiwan and Japan in here and the ship pop up. And Japan. All right, let's see. Oh, that's past hour. That's why it's not showing up. Let's do 24 hours. Here it is. Coming straight from the Chinese news, too. All right. Going down here. From the South China Morning Post. China and Russia begins their naval drills in the waters near Taiwan and Japan. Exercise being held off in the East China Sea. The closest has been held in the Taiwan Strait and also in the Japanese waters. Analysts say the week-long annual war games aim to send a message to Taipei as well as Tokyo over its new security strategy, which Japan is building up for a war with China, Russia, and North Korea because they're kind of squeezed in between. Well, not really squeezed in between them, but the countries still surround them. You got Russia on the far right, you have China in the middle, and you got North Korea towards the bottom left. Yeah, I will show y'all that on the map too if you want me to. Actually, let me see if my flight radar is over by them because we were looking at this last night. So let me see if this website actually, I could show you guys a good map. Let's see. Oh yeah, we were looking at Poland last night because they said the Ukraine, there was a plane that was getting close to the border. So I wanted to check on it. But it's all good. Zelenskyy came from a U.S. plane. Yes, a U.S. plane did go to Ukraine and pick him up and brought him here. So that was another dangerous move from the United States. They don't care no more. They don't care. They really, really don't care. All right, so I wanted to go over here just to show you on the map. So y'all see this little line right here? This is Russia. This is Russia's little way. They have a little border with North Korea right here. You got Japan right here. So you got Russia right there, right by Japan. You got China right here, right by Japan. And then you got North Korea right there. So they wanted to, Japan is, they're in a really bad area. Really, really bad area. And of course, if they ever went to war, all this would be shut down. The Taiwan Strait over here would be shut down. The Indo-Pacific over here would be shut down. So trade all over the world would collapse. Of course, the economy is collapsing. With Russia being into this war, the North Sea would be shut down. So that would be the Arctic off limits. This area would be shut down because the United States and Russia would be at war. most of Europe would be shut down because most likely, if this war started with NATO, it would be a nuclear conflict. And just look at all these planes. That's the one thing I want y'all to look at. Look at all these planes, just like all the planes in America. If we was into a nuclear conflict, do you know that a lot of these planes would be hitting the ground? That'd be another catastrophe to think about. All these planes hitting the ground, civilian. I mean, they ain't gonna be able to steer where they go. They're just going down. They're gonna collapse. EMP, nuclear weapons detonate an electric magnetic pulse. Not to mention it's wintertime, so a lot of people be in dark and cold. But seems like America don't really care about that right now. Yeah, and the same for America. Look how many planes we have over here. I can go to my ADS website as well and show y'all on that one too. But the point is, crazy, crazy for real, really crazy. Wake up, wake up, my friends. I'm saying it over and over for a reason. Wake up, because they're putting it all out there. Um, we already know Moscow's preparing their bunkers. They're starting to put. I could put that up here too. You know, I know Off Grid talked about this a little bit. I've talked about it in my TikTok lives. I've talked about the packing up of their bunker. Moscow's packing up their bunkers right now, stocking them up with food and different stuff. Don't forget the governments just a couple months ago were buying up all the iodine. So if the iodine just starts disappearing, it's because your government most likely bought it up. Putin has an extensive change of secret bunkers stretching from Moscow to the Urals. Wow, Urals. Sicky old man Putin will either die holed up in his bunker, or face trial for war crimes, Ukraine has said. All right, but I wanted to show they're getting the bunkers ready. So I'm just gonna put ready bunkers, Moscow ready bunkers. And then I'm going to put this over here. Oh, the Chinese president also met with Medvedev. Want to let that out too, for strategic partnership. Fearing whom Putin is going to hide with his family in a bunker till New Year's. Jeez, what? Nah, he's not in his bunker now. It's showing them going around. That's his body double. This was a little longer than a week ago. I'm gonna go for the month. Putin moved into a bunker after Kremlin rocked with. Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Dang, at that time. Okay, Moscow already in bunkers. Oh yeah, yeah, that song that Russia made to us. Yes, Russia sung a song about nuking America too. Yeah, I that was wild. That was wild. Let's see. This is always hard to find on here. But 3 weeks ago, I believe it was like 3 to 4 weeks ago, there was an article that came out about Moscow readying their bunkers, preparing people for a conventional war that they're saying over there, but it's actually supposed to be a nuclear war. I mean, why would you be preparing all the bunkers of your of the area of Moscow for a conventional war? That would sound more to me that y'all are getting ready for a nuclear war, but y'all covering it up for a conventional war. But yeah, let me show that song too. Yeah, that's wild. They literally made a song about nuking America, and it's Russia's lawmakers and military. All right. Yep, here it is. Let me see if they got the video on here too. See if it pops up. Let me click music video. Maybe it'll pop up if I hit that. So yeah. Oh, this is the full video. This is the full video. Well, I guess you guys get to see the full one. Copyrighted by Russia, so just putting that out there. This is not my song. This is the song. Oh wait, they don't got subtitles? Hold on, hold on. I'm not gonna show it if it don't got subtitles, because then I wouldn't be able to prove what they're saying. Hold on. For settings, let's go to settings. Let's see. No. Look like I could have got it into English. Maybe. Finish English. It didn't change, did it? Okay. Let's not do this one then. Oh wait, I got it posted on my YouTube, didn't I? Did I post it on my YouTube channel? I should have the subtitle version on here. Major escalation, war, shorts. Videos. Let me go to videos. Was that only a TikTok thing? Next escalation. Yeah, I guess so. Wow. I didn't post that on my YouTube? I thought I did. Okay. Well, I got a better idea then. Then I'll go to my phone. I'll just go to my TikTok and show you guys myself. So let's go here. I like to try to prove everything that I can. Yep, I got it on here. So I'll turn it up. Oh wait, this is also connected to my TV. Give me a second. I'm gonna pause that for 1 second. Here we go. Let's get the sanctions. NATO's troubled dreams. At the United States. From Mother Russia, the Sarmats are staring into the distance at the United States. So yeah, they're singing about the Sarmat, their new Satan 2, right here, pointed at the United States, ready to unleash hell on the Americans. And don't forget, Putin did say that he's going to be deploying that today, the Sarmat, Satan 2. That's going to be deployed in the near future. So I don't think this is empty rhetoric anymore. I think they know what the Russian military is getting ready to do. I think Russia's getting ready for war with NATO, and I think they are ready for this to escalate. Right off the rip, that's where I see this going. So like I said before, hope people are taking this serious because they're not even hiding this no more. Not a good feeling when someone is singing about nuking us. I know, right? Especially when it's the military and lawmakers. Y'all didn't even see nobody that wasn't military or a lawmaker there. That was all military and lawmakers singing about nuking us. Imagine the U.S. Congress, Nancy Pelosi and gang coming out and singing about nuking Russia. People here would probably freak. Well, probably not now since they sung about nuking us, but just out of nowhere saying, yeah, let's send our B-61 to Moscow. That would be crazy. Ukraine's Area 51 in the Baltic. I said the same thing. Yeah, I know, right? This is this is wild. What is this one about? Oh yeah, I didn't really get to talk about this on YouTube. So there's two versions to this. There was a bunch of B2s that were grounded. Some crashed, I guess, but there was a lot that was grounded. The UK also grounded some aircraft. That's what's not being reported is the UK grounded some aircraft as well. So it was the UK and it was the United States, making me think that some Russia did something to make them ground their aircraft. Maybe they launched a cyber attack or like I'm like, hold on, this is wild. Oh, India did threaten to invade China today. Well, invade China's part of the dispute of territory in the LAC. China, India is saying China invaded them first, and now India's preparing to invade them. Another standoff. We do not want to, go in because China and India got nuclear weapons. India has over 100 to probably 200 now, and China has about 400. So that would do major damage to our planet, not including the United States and Russia, who's both have the most nuclear weapons being on the standoff for war, which can kill up to 6.7 billion people. I was I could just do a little small look up. Yes, 6.7 billion people could die in the U.S. Russia nuclear war. This was actually all over, and actually is the first thing you see when you type in into Bing or Google or has a little thing up here to say 5 billion would be dead in the U.S. Russia nuclear war. And the exchange between U.S. and Russia is, while less likely, which this was back at that time, it would be more catastrophic. An estimate of 5 billion people would die worldwide, perhaps as many as 6.7 billion at a higher end of the estimates. So, yeah, even on that. As far as India and China, we can look that up real quick. India is building up on the Chinese border, as it says right here. India is sending more troops to border with dispute with Chinese forces. But there was a statement that came out. Maybe it's on my 24/7, our News Now website. Actually, I can just go here. Oh, by the way, the first article on this site is the one about Biden doing that. Oh, and the bill right here is also the first, one of the first on here. Crazy. All right, let's see. India, China. Is India getting ready for war with China? Yeah, that's a question we should all be asking right now. India is sending more troops to the border after dispute with Chinese forces. Let y'all know that one. Indian troops gather on the Chinese border after soldiers clash. I'm trying to find out one about India going into that part of China. which they know would piss China off. IAF deployed from Ladakh along the border with China. Oh, deployed from Ladakh to Pradesh. Where is it at? We'll enter Karnataka or Karnataka. I think that's what it is. Like China invaded India, so they're saying they're trying to go into their part of the territory, just like China invaded their India's part of the territory. So they're definitely talking about a retaliation to this. We do not need no one's permission. We do not need anyone's permission. They say amid border row. So yeah, here it is. Here it is. Oh man, there's simmering tensions between Mahar Maharashtra. I worked on this too this morning. I was trying to work on pronouncing these two areas because I knew they were important. But one area is India's side and one area is China's side, and they're saying that they're going to enter the Chinese side of the area, just like China entered the India side of the area of the LAC. The way China has invaded Indian territory, we will do the same in Karnataka or Karnataka. I think that's what it's called. We do not need anyone's permission to do so. Told reporters in Delhi, setting everything ablaze with this statement, and has a weak government in power and thus could not take any stand against the state. Boy. Okay. I wanted to make sure I got into this live though. I was super late. I'm super sorry, guys. I went live on TikTok earlier than I was expecting to go live. I didn't want to go live super early, but it was so much news breaking out. I had to go live this morning on TikTok. And then when I got off of my live on TikTok, I totally forgot about my YouTube live. So I'm sorry I left you guys waiting here a little bit, but I wanted to make sure I got on here and showed the YouTube side of it too. Guys, yes, we're definitely definitely close to war. Somebody just told me a new article on war news, so I'm gonna go over the war news real quick before I close out and see. Well, oh boy. Okay, I'm ready to read it. This doesn't look good. We got Medvedev and Putin in this one. So what's going on? Nuclear and military assistance is on the table. Medvedev on an emergency in China conveyed a Kremlin message from Vladimir Putin. We are fighting all of NATO. Oh boy. Wait, what do we got here? We got Zelenskyy and Biden on here too. There's two new articles. What's this one? For the first time, Zelenskyy outside of Ukraine, he rushes to the United States. What would be announced? Armageddon is approaching. Oh boy. Damn, which one do I want to start with? Do I want to start with the least? I'm going to the more, forget it. I'll do both of them. That's what I'm here for. Oh man, they need to chill out, guys. Okay. Nuclear and military assistance on the table. Medvedev on emergency in China. Conveyed to Kremlin message Vladimir Putin, we are fighting all of NATO. Watch the video of statements. Please tell me y'all got the video and English subtitles, please. All right, Russia is responding to NATO-led processes in Ukraine's transition to the United States, with Security Council Vice President Medvedev landing unannounced in China and conveying a personal message from Vladimir Putin to Xi Jinping. This is what the Russian media are revealing, highlighting this surprise development. Give me a second as I put this phone on the charger. I did 2 hour long live, so I gotta put this on the charger really fast, really fast. Okay. Definitely soon. Definitely soon. All right, so we have the highlighting right here. We have there is no coincidence at the same time the Ukrainian met his Polish counterpart. The scenario of Polish regular forces entering western Ukraine is possibly on the table. Going down, ignore the vacuum. Sorry to cleaning outside the door. Earlier, Russian President Vladimir Putin, important statement stressing that Russian army would soon receive what is needed, noting that Russia is now fighting all of NATO. Most likely, Medvedev asked for military assistance, now discussed in the scenario of using tactical nuclear weapons. It is not time to actively see volunteers from China, Iran, and North Korea on Ukrainian fronts. I guess this seems to be the most optimistic scenario at the moment. Wow. Vladimir Putin and all NATO force fights against Russia. Russia's president pointed out, particularly during the speech to Moscow, the defense chiefs, that he would ensure that his country's nuclear forces were ready for battle. Putin promised to give the armed forces everything they asked for to provide them with support, stressing that there is no financial limits to what the government will provide in terms of equipment and materials. In this context, he underlined that Moscow would increase the military capabilities in all fields, called the Russian soldiers heroes, and argued that the special attention should be paid to the importance of the drones in the war in Ukraine. Continuing down. He also accused NATO of using all its forces against Russia and urged military leaders to use experience gained in fighting in Syria and Ukraine. He stressed that Russia is focusing on the importance of drones in the war, adding that the Russian Sarmat missile, dubbed the Satan II, will be ready for deployment in the near future. Okay, he also announced that the Russian fleet will be equipped from the beginning of January with the Zircon-type supersonic cruise missiles, which I forgot to mention on YouTube, on the YouTube Live. Yes, they said starting in January, they will start using the Zircon hypersonic missiles in Ukraine. And I'm expecting this war to escalate. That means they're probably going to start attacking the Patriot systems then, or probably sooner than that. But yeah, those would definitely take out the Patriots. These are supersonic missiles, hypersonic. What about the mall? I'll get on that in a second. In January, the frigate will be equipped with the new Zircon missiles, which do not have counterparts around the world. The president of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, said, speaking to the Russian Ministry of Defense, that noted that 300,000 Russians are in the zone of special operation in Ukraine, and another 150,000 are now undergoing military training in the training fields. This is enough to conduct a so-called military operation. I want to thank the citizens who helped the Russian armed forces, who sent cars and equipment and warm clothes. We have to say a big thank you to the people and bow down. Oh, it's in English.
Rifles of the latest generation are not going to list everything, but I will speak about the main things. Everything that a soldier needs should be modern, comfortable, convenient, and reliable. Supplies should be done considering the needs, the requirements the Army has. If some norms are outdated, it should be adjusted. I would like to draw the attention of the Chief of the General Staff of all the commanders that are attending this meeting. We have no restrictions, no limitations on funding. The country, the government is giving everything that the Army needs. Everything.
Everything that the Army needs. Everything. So, that's coming out of Putin's mouth. I'm going to post that on TikTok later. And on YouTube. I got you guys here too. As y'all see, I'm trying to increase my posting on here. I'm trying my best. I got a lot of platforms, but they're working with me to finding different ways to get this news out. But yeah, here too, man. A key point of Vladimir Putin's speech, also characteristics, were his reference in the Western enemy and capabilities of the Russian war machine. The fighting has highlighted issues to we need to put on in particular. That is communications, automated command and control systems for troops and weapons. The military and capabilities of NATO countries are actively used against Russia. Russia is aware of all information about NATO forces and the means of countering them used by them. Means of countering them used by them. I wonder if they mean weapons. Sorry, that kind of twisted me up there. That's some weird way of putting it. That's the translation issue, most likely. Russia has a good experience of development in underwater drones, and the industry is capable of developing air and ground drones. The use of UAVs and the Russian armed forces should be further developed. Russia will maintain combat readiness and improve the nuclear triad. And NATO weapons should be analyzed and used to create Russia's armed forces. NATO's weapons should be analyzed and used to create Russia's armed forces. So basically, use the weapons that NATO is shooting at them against them. That's what I'm seeing out of that. That sounds like re-engineering. They want to re-engineer NATO weapons and use them back at NATO. That's probably why NATO troops are in Ukraine, to stop that from happening. Because maybe they knew that Russia was going to go to this. Boy. And we're sending the Patriots? Air defense? Oh, boy. Military potential of almost all NATO being turned against Russia. Putin. Uh-oh. So, yeah, it did come out of his mouth.
Dear board members, it is well known that now against Russia is actively used the military potential and capabilities of practically all the main countries of NATO.
Wow.
Nevertheless, our soldiers, sergeants, officers are fighting for Russia bravely, and they fulfill the tasks that are given to them, and these objectives will be accomplished in all the territories of the Russian Federation, including the new territories. We are going to ensure security and safety of all our citizens.
Oh, man. That makes, hearing it straight from the man's mouth. Putin has hinted at it. He says the collective West. He says different language to portray NATO as the aggressor in his own country. But I have never actually heard him come out and say NATO weapons are being used against the Russian army. We know that NATO's gathering up against us. Like, that is a big ass deal, and people ain't going to recognize how big of a deal that is. That he announced that his forces are up against NATO. Not Ukraine, NATO. Oh, man. This is crazy. Is that it? Is that where this ends? No militarization of the economy. Russia would not be involved in the militarization of the country or the economy. Putin put it out in a speech in the front of Russian officers. Russia has everything, not just leaflets. Like several of the neighbors of the country, Russia will not repeat the mistakes of the past when the economy was destroyed in the interest of defense. I have no doubt that all objectives in the military field will be achieved. The conflict in Ukraine was inevitable, better today than tomorrow. Vladimir Putin takes part in an expanded meeting of the broad Ministry of Defense.
Товарищ Верховный Главнокомандующий, руководящий штаб вооруженных сил и органов государственной власти к расширению заседания коллегии готов. Начальник генерального штаба генерал Армен Георгиевич. Товарищи офицеры. Товарищи офицеры.
Okay, and then that's when he made his announcements. So this is like the beginning of it. Sorry again for the noise in the background. I also stay by a freeway out here, so you'll hear a lot of trucks, a lot of motorcycles, and yeah, it's a loud area. I apologize. Medvedev's surprise visit to China. He conveyed Putin's personal message to Xi. At the same time, former President Dmitry Medvedev paid an unannounced visit to Beijing and held talks with the Chinese President Xi Jinping, during which he said they discussed the conflict in Ukraine. Medvedev, who is now the vice chairman of the Russian Security Council, posted a video on his Telegram account in which he is shown meeting Xi, smiling in photos, and a meeting between the Chinese and Russian officials. Medvedev said Xi discussed the limitless Russia-China strategic partnership as well as Ukraine. The vice president of Russian Security Council did not specify further. We discussed the cooperation between the two ruling parties of China and Russia, bilateral communication, cooperation within our strategic partnership, including the economy and industrial production. We also discussed the international issues, including, of course, the conflict in Ukraine. The talks were constructive. Russia reports that Medvedev conveyed a personal message from Vladimir Putin to Xi Jinping. And this is his video.
Состоялись переговоры с генеральным секретарем ЦК Компартии Китая, председателем Китайской Народной Республики Си Цзиньпином. Мы обсудили вопросы взаимодействия между двумя правящими партиями, Компартией Китая и Единой России. Обсудили вопросы двустороннего взаимодействия, нашего стратегического партнерства с Китаем во всех сферах, включая, конечно, экономику, промышленную кооперацию и многое другое.
Oh, man. Xi Jinping met with Dmitry Medvedev today in Beijing, delivered the President Putin's message to the Chinese President. Xi Jinping discussed the situation of the post-Soviet space, including Ukrainian crisis. Okay, so yep, everything reporting on that. This must be them shaking hands right here. And that's the end of it from there. Shake longer. Shake longer. Shake longer. Shake longer. You gonna let go? No? Okay. Yeah, you gonna let go now? No? Okay. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Okay. That is the end of that one. Let's go over to the last article on this, and there's probably more articles that came out that I'm gonna look over, but I might not read the full because we've already been on here on an hour's time, and I know my TikTok's expecting me to have a live soon. It's gonna be a busy day for news. I already know. Especially with everything coming out. Now we know we're on the verge of war. There's nothing nobody can do to persuade me otherwise that we're definitely on the verge of war. For the first time, Vladimir Zelenskyy outside of Ukraine as he rushes to the United States. What will be announced? Armageddon is approaching. Will he be able to return back to Ukraine? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if he's outside of Ukraine, Russia could try to block his way in, therefore installing another puppet. Why would... I hope today's announcement won't be NATO stepping foot in Ukraine. Yeah, me too. Which, if the announcement is the Patriot air defense systems, is definitely NATO personnel going into Ukraine. NATO already announced that. All right, so for the first time since the beginning of the war in Ukraine, Zelenskyy make a hasty visit abroad, and specifically to Washington. This visit is expected to usher in a new phase of escalation of the Ukrainian war, and it certainly does not bode well. The Ukrainian president will go to the capital, where he will have meetings with the leadership of Congress and heads of the national security committees from the Democratic and Republican parties. Then the U.S. President Joe Biden will welcome the Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelenskyy to the White House. The talks between the two politicians will take place in the Oval Office and will last a while commented on the French newspaper Liberation. This exit of Volodymyr Zelensky is taking place as of today marks the 300 days since the start of the war. Wow, 300 days. Senior U.S. officials adding that a meeting had been locked down on December 11th during a telephone conversation between the two heads of state and confirmed on Sunday. It has recalled that the last time Zelensky visited the United States was September 1st, 2021, when the Russian invasion was a threat only Washington and Kyiv took seriously. The Ukrainian president had also been received in the Oval Office at the time, with Biden promising to support him against Russia. This meeting is expected to lock in a new aid to Ukraine. Ukraine will receive the Patriot air defense systems from the United States and the SAMT from France and the Caesar from France. At the same time, green light will be given to Ukrainian army to strike deep on Russian territory. So not only that, so they will also have the green light to strike Russia. That's why Russia's putting their nuclear forces on high alert. So today is the day Zelensky gets the green light from Washington to strike inside of Russian territory. This means that Ukraine will be given the opportunities without any public confirmation. The meeting is so important that Nancy Pelosi asked all members of Congress to be at the Capitol tomorrow. Russia will no longer has another solution. It must strike quickly with full lethal force before a new air defense systems are transferred to Ukraine, before the Ukrainian army receives the capabilities for a deep strike on Russian soil. This means that the Russian leadership will review the existing military plans as the final phase of the conflict approaches. The next escalation will be nuclear. Damn. Biden to announce the Patriot defense during Zelensky's visit, U.S. official. Ukrainian Volodymyr Zelensky will today be at the White House of the United States. Joe Biden, before addressing the Congress, and U.S. presidential spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre, which confirmed in a press release on the occasion of Vladimir Zelensky's first trip abroad since the break of war. We already know this. The visit confirms that the United States will support Ukraine, where Russia's military invaded February 24th, for as long as it takes.
Making sure the Defense Department can deal with the major threats coming from Russia and China, providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians. That's the number one priority for the United States right now. According to most Republicans, that's sort of how we see the challenges confronting the country at the moment.
Mitch McConnell, thank you. Thank you for your kind words, sir. Oh, boy. Jeez, we're in so much trouble. New U.S. package. During the trip, will be conducted under a draconian security measures. Zelensky will first hold talks with his U.S. counterpart advisors, then hold a press conference with Joe Biden by his side, according to the source of the condition of anonymity. According to this source, Washington will today offer new economic support package to Ukraine amounting to almost $2 billion, including Patriot schemes. After the press conference, Vladimir Zelensky will speak to Congress. The speech comes as U.S. lawmakers prepare to vote on a massive new support package for Ukraine, nearly $45 billion. The United States, by far Kyiv's largest financier, has now already spent $50 billion on Ukraine, Ukraine's needs. The French publication points out. In fact, according to experts' estimates, this figure would include U.S. $20 billion in weapons and military aid. Joe Biden will announce a major new package of about $2 billion in aid for Ukraine's security. It would also include an important new capability, Patriot system. And this will be a critical weapon against Russia attacks on Ukraine's critical infrastructure. Going down, third, the Ukrainians will be trained to use this system in a third country, which means it will take some time for Ukrainian forces to use them. We will continue to prioritize other forms of air defense support, including NASAMs, Hawks, Stingers, and anti-UAV equipment. Oh, man. Zelenskyy will also ask for a 300-kilometer range missiles and drones, and requests that the president of Ukraine, Zelenskyy, will convey to his American counterparts, Joe Biden, as to the military assistance that Kyiv needs is mentioned in the report. According to Political, the Ukrainian president will ask Washington to supply them with missiles with a maximum range of 300 kilometers, something that the United States has so far categorically denied, and will also ask for American drones. In particular, the publication points out that Ukrainians will ask the president to procure the MGM-140 ATACMS ballistic missiles with a range up to 310 kilometers, as well as the American drones, the MQ Reaper and the M1C Gray Eagle, which can be equipped with AGMs of 114 Hellfire missiles. Zelenskyy needs longer weapons so it can preactively respond to an expected Russian attack. Sheesh. And that's it on that. And this is Nancy Pelosi's little document. Dear colleagues, as you know, tomorrow we are scheduled to resume a session to complete our business for the year. I am following up on the leader's notice of the schedule by encouraging all members to be physically present at our session Wednesday night. We are ending a very special session of the 117th Congress with the legislation that makes progress for American people as well as support for democracy. Please be present for a very special focus on democracy Wednesday night. Sounds like an announcement tonight. What the F? Bro, what are we about to get ourselves into, man? Dang, it's so bad she's calling everybody to come home. Oh, boy. All right, I'm going to look through some of the extra news on here as well, and then I'm going to take a break and get ready for nuclear assistance is on the table. Hold on. Oh, wait, is that this article that we're seeing right here? Yeah, it is. What is this one right here? 2015 agreement on Iran's nuclear program is dead. Bad development. Yeah, I heard about this today. Yes. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, Biden made a unexpected announcement that the Iranian program is dead, and that I showed y'all the article earlier about the United States going to be working with Israel to prepare for war with Iran, not only Iran, North Korea, Russia, and China. So right here, Biden admission in the video. So I guess they got a video for this as well. Guess I'll check that out. All right, let's see. Translate. All right, the international agreement on Iran's nuclear program, known as the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, is dead. The United States, Joe Biden said in a video released on Twitter without the White House questioning its authenticity. The video is not specified where it was taken. It shows Joe Biden surrounded by his bodyguards chatting with people behind a metal fence. A woman appears to be wearing a ribbon and the colors of Iran flag or an Iranian flag. and having our nails painted the same color. The space looks like a gym or multi-purpose venue. The president, okay, let me just see what it looks like. She's dead, but we want an announcement. It's a long story. It's a long story. We don't want to deal with this mulas. They don't represent us. I know they don't represent you, but they will get a nuclear weapon, Biden replied. They will get a nuclear weapon or they won't. Gotta hear this.
President Biden, please announce that JCPOA is dead. Can you just announce that? No. No, why not? We just don't want any deals with the Muslims. No deals. They don't represent us. They're not our government.
But they'll have a nuclear weapon that they'll represent. Wait, what? They'll have a nuclear weapon that they'll represent. Hold on. Hold up. Let me go. Now, is this a threat to Iran, or is he saying that they're going to have a nuclear weapon? Okay, that's two ways right there. It says, President Biden, would you please announce that the GCPOA is dead? Now, the funny part is, it goes here. He said no. He said no. She said no. Why not? He goes over. He says a lot of reasons. Now, go to the longer part. He said it is dead. That's an announcement, bro. You said you ain't going to announce it. You just announced it. It is dead. But we're not going to announce it. You announced it, bro. Now they know it's dead. They know there's nothing to work towards. But anyways, it is dead, but we're not going to announce it. She goes ahead, continues on. It's a long story, but we're going to make sure. Then that's what she comes in and says, we just don't want any deals with the mullahs. Or mullahs. Going here, towards the end, she says, no deals, and they all say no deals. And she said, they don't represent us, they're not our government. And then Biden comes in and says, oh, I know they don't represent you, but they'll have a nuclear weapon that they'll represent. What does that mean? They'll have a nuclear weapon that they'll represent. Okay. The president's comments are absolutely in line with what they're saying about the JCPOA, which is not our priority right now. John Kirby, the spokesman for the White House National Security Council, said when asked about the reporters, we do not expect a deal to be reached in the near future. He continued without confirming that the JCPOA is dead. Wow, so this is dead. All right, well, that's the news for today. I mean, it's a lot more than that. We still got India and we talked about India and Israel. North Korea saying they're going to shoot an ICBM. I'm trying to get it all out while I'm on live. An ICBM up into space, and at its full trajectory, but the full trajectory will be fired up into space, coming down into our atmosphere and hitting the target within the Pacific Ocean. Major escalation. The United States might declare war on North Korea for a move like that if they ever did something like that, because that would cause us to ground our aircraft. That would cause us to be on high alert and be ready to strike at North Korea at a moment's notice, especially if we already think it's coming there. They're going to say, oh, we thought this was going to hit the United States. Sorry, we struck you, buddy. So that's another thing. Not India. China and the United States getting on the verge of war. I mean, the United States is on the verge of war with everybody. Oh, Kosovo threatening Serbia. They're saying they're going to escalate this. They're going to take down the armed men with barricades, which Serbia said they would send in their force for that. So all countries that's in NATO is in danger. Even if Turkey is not in danger by Russia, they're in danger by Greece because Turkey's talking about attacking Greece. So they're definitely going to be having a war. Anyways, much love, guys. Seem like really things are really bad in the world, and I hope that things does get better. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for showing love to the channel. And thank you for sticking it out in this live. Share this around if you ever get a chance, and hopefully you guys get to rewatch this. I tried to read my best for you guys today. I know not everything was, perfect, but nothing's perfect in this world. I am going to have better YouTube lives. I found somebody to know how to do animations and stuff, and knows how to do um, the YouTube videos and stuff. So I will have an upgrade to my YouTube pretty soon. I won't be this phone thing anymore. We will have an upgrade. But anyways, remember our golden rule of love, unity, and peaceful life. On top of that is preparedness and awareness. Don't be scared. Be prepared to stay aware. We'll see you guys soon on TikTok, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock. I got to stretch my time just to give myself a break to eat and to get more news for today. So I will be posting videos on TikTok and YouTube, so look out for those. And I'll see you guys soon. Remember the golden rule. Love, unity, and peaceful life, boy. But on top of that is preparedness and awareness. Don't be scared. Stay prepared and stay aware. We got your 6. We love you. And peace out.